The British team for this final: Katie Archibald, Laura Trott, Eleanor Barker and Kiara Horn. Up against Australia, Isabella King, Ashley-Ann Kudinov, Amy Cure and Melissa Hoskins. Great Britain, world, Olympic and European champions. 16 laps of the track for gold here at the World Cup. Katie Archibald leading off for Great Britain. The rider on the front for Australia is Ashley-Ann Kudinov, trying to get their rhythm going nice and early. Now Archibald set an excellent early pace for Great Britain, who absolutely flew out of the gate in their first round matchup. How are they going to fare here in the final, which is likely to be much more competitive? Well, they're behind on the first lap.
They started off first half lap well, but a very aggressive start by the Australian four. Got themselves into formation very quickly, and as always we can expect an aggressive ride by them, and they've gone out fast.
They most certainly have, and riding on the front for Great Britain at the moment is Eleanor Barker. Barker with a nice steady rhythm, rock solid on the bike. She hands over.
Well, they've got a fight on the hands here, and I can already see the tension in the Australian four. You can see that they're fighting for the wheels. They might pay for that later on, but they're going to try and get themselves well in the front first and then try to manage the thing over the second half.
Well, they've certainly done that so far. Let's have a look at the gap here. It's just under half a second, and leading the way for Australia is Melissa Hoskins at the moment, but we're riding with Great Britain now as they try to claw their way back here, and it's Kiara Horn riding on the front. Katie Archibald is right on her wheel.
Well, they are indeed pulling themselves back into it. They're just a tenth of a second behind now, so they're going in the right direction, and I think this lap they'll probably see themselves get back on equal footing with the Australians.
Good turn here from Katie Archibald on the front. She's looking really, really strong, and now Great Britain have powered their way into the lead. Good riding there from Archibald. She's done an excellent job.
Some gaps as well in the British team. Both teams are showing that they are really riding on the limit. Nobody's been holding back. This is going to be a very, very close one.
Eleanor Barker on the front. Great Britain have the advantage here now. 7.5 laps.
It's still a long way to go, isn't it? And both of them with those aggressive starts. There'll be a price to be paid that we won't see for another minute of riding yet.
8 to go now. Great Britain nearly 3/4 of a second up here. They've got Australia right where they want them at the moment, and riding on the front is Laura Trott. Trott should be a little bit fresher. She didn't ride earlier today in the first round.
It was a bold move to take Joanna Rowsell out of this team and leave the youngsters in, but it certainly seems to be paying off at the moment. They're a full second in the lead now.
And as they come up to the line, there will be 6 laps to go as Katie Archibald leads the way for Great Britain. Australia with an awful lot to do here now, and time starting to run short. Melissa Hoskins just swings off and rejoins the line at the back. Both teams still with their full complement of riders as Eleanor Barker leads the way for Great Britain again.
Horn feeling the pace. He really had to drive to get on that wheel. We can see some gaps in the middle of the British team now. It's there really is. They're pushing so hard and feeling the pressure, but the laps are ticking away. Just a kilometre remaining.
Yeah, 4 laps to go here, and it's 1.4 seconds now.
Sure enough, they're cracking. The British team are starting to crack. It's Laura Trott that's doing the damage.
Well, Laura Trott is really piling it on at the front, and Laura Trott's disappeared off. She's way in front of everybody else.
They're falling apart
Yeah,
now.
and Archibald now has got to try and close that gap. Archibald has to close the gap. Trott then just moves up the track and notices that there was nobody with her. Archibald riding on the front. Archibald there being followed by Eleanor Barker.
Well, they're probably going to get away with this one. They've got a 2-second advantage. They've got time to regroup and get it together. They've switched to half-lap turns. Nobody, apart from Laura Trott, has got anything left now. Their advantage is being whittled down, but probably not fast enough with a lap coming up.
Well, Kiara Horn is the rider who has dropped out for Great Britain as they take the bell. Great Britain leading the way with Katie Archibald, with Laura Trott and with Eleanor Barker. The 3 of them now are going to bring it home. They're going to win gold for Great Britain. As Eleanor Barker hits the front, they cross the line now. 4:22.167, 2 seconds ahead of Australia. And Great Britain win gold here in London at this World Cup meeting. And that gets the crowd off their